Welcome back, guys, to the quiz game video 2. Um, where we left off was we had 5 sprites. One was the announcer, and he's controlling our questions. And then the other 4 sprites are all just answers. We're going to make a second question today, and we're going to have 4 new answers. But we're going to keep the same sprites. The way we're going to change them is to add a new costume like this, okay, or duplicate our costume, and then we can just change the words in here, and then we'll have a second costume. But we have to be careful how we do it, because we have to know when we're on the second question to do that, and so that's what we're going to be working on today. So here we go. Let me just run this. This is what we have so far. He says hello. He asks a question. And if I click on any of these, they say hello for 2 seconds. That's all we got so far. So let's get rid of that say hello. Okay. We're on the first question, which is Donald Trump, and that's not the right answer. What we're going to do is we're going to send a message to the cat to say, you got it wrong. So how do you send, we haven't talked about this before really, except maybe when we spun that fan, but the way you get actions that happen in one sprite to affect another sprite is you use this command called broadcast. Okay, so here is the broadcast command. And what it does is it just sends a message out to all the other sprites. And then you catch that broadcast when I receive. Use this when I receive command. Okay, so just like a variable, you can make it any words you want. I'm going to call this one incorrect, and that way I can reuse it over and over again. You'll see in a second. Okay, so and now instead of saying hello for 2 seconds, I'm going to send this message out to all the sprites that they got it wrong, that the person clicked the wrong answer. And then in here, I'm going to go under events, and not only am I going to have my when flag clicked to start my program, but I'm also going to have when I receive incorrect. Okay. Now I'm just going to make this simple and say something like, sorry, that's incorrect. I could also like quit the game totally. You may want to add some more, make your program a little more dynamic than mine. Add maybe you'll add a score or some money or something like that. But for now, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just kind of giving you an outline of how to set it up. If I click Donald Trump, he says, sorry, that's incorrect, and stops the program. Okay. So number 2 is the right answer, so I don't want to do anything with that. But here, I'm going to get rid of the say hello, and I'm going to broadcast incorrect as well, because that's the wrong answer. And then here, I am going to get rid of the say hello, broadcast that. Okay. And so when I run my program, if I click on this one, it quits. And if I click on this one, it quits. And I haven't set them up to go to question 2 yet. But what I'm going to do is much like the other 2 sprites. Instead of saying hello, I'm going to broadcast question 2. So I'm just going to write the word question 2 in here. And now, under the cat sprite, I'm going to say when I receive question 2. And from there, I can ask my second question. Okay? And I will say hello. Okay. I'll say something like, great job. The second question for $400 is, what is the capital of Canada? Okay. Let's see if he'll say that. Okay. Joe Biden. Great job. The second question, what is the capital of Canada? You might want to hold that on the screen longer, but he does say it. And if I click any of the other ones, it's wrong. So that's good. So I have a second question already. I just need to replace these answers here with different answers for question 2. Okay? So um, the first thing I'm going to do is, this guy already broadcast this question 2. Okay? So I'm going to go into all my sprites and add a when I receive question 2. Okay. When I receive question 2, I'll know to switch my costumes to the next costume. But I have to add these costumes for answers. So I already duplicated this one. I'm just going to change this one to Toronto, which is wrong. Okay. And I may just snap that in the middle. I'll have this answer be Washington, D.C. Who knows? It's hard to see that there. Is that too big? No. Okay. Oh, you know what I did? I messed that up. Let me undo that. I still need my Joe Biden there. I need to duplicate this costume. And so my second costume should say Washington, D.C. Like that. Okay. Clickety clackety. Notice how they're coming up here as well, which is good. Here I'll put the right answer. I just did duplicate the costume, and you'll have, if you want to add like 5 questions to your project, you'll have to have 5 different costumes for each. But the code will be the same. Like, you won't have to really add too much of your own code. The third answer will be London. Oops. What did I do here? I'm just going to undo that. Go back. Oh, nice. There. It says Mr. V. I'm just going to say London. Okay, cool. There we go. So I got my 4 new answers. Now, there is one problem. Watch this. When I run my program now, he asks who won the presidential election, and now all of my second answers are on there because they're all stuck on the second costume. So here, I am going to add a switch to costume 1 at the beginning of my program. Bam. Switch to costume 1. This is a lot of like what programming is all about, kind of coding, realizing little mistakes, and then trying to figure out how to fix them. Okay. Coding in Scratch is kind of hard though, because you're coding 5 different things and they're all talking to one another at the same time. So it's a lot like parallel coding, or coding multiple cores almost. It's a little bit different than actually coding, which we'll learn about in grade 11. Okay, so let's see if that fixed it. Stopping that, running it. Yes, it switched to all my second questions. Cool. So now my code, when I receive question 2, I want to switch to costume 2. And this is only for the first one. But let me just run that, click the right answer, okay, and that one did switch, so that's good. And the other ones I'll get to switch in a second. What I want to do is just kind of copy this forever loop here, because for the second question, I still want this forever loop, right? There's one other thing I need to do, and you'll see right now that if I click on Joe Biden, do you see this little yellow ring? That means this block of code is running. Okay, watch when I stop it, they both stop having that yellow ring around them. Let's zoom in and really get a look at this yellow ring, you'll see. Okay, so this one has a yellow ring, which means it's running. That helps you in Scratch figure out how to fix your code if you know what's running and what's not running. This is running because all of this stuff is in a forever loop, constantly checking. As soon as I click on Joe Biden, this one starts running, but this one doesn't stop. We need this one to stop because we're no longer in question 1. And so we're going to get confusion here. If one of these is the right answer and one is wrong, it'll check them both and think they're right and wrong and kind of mess up. So the way I get around that is I go to the stop command like this, and I press stop other scripts in this sprite. So whenever I get to question 2, I know that I'm only on question 2. I don't want any of my other questions to run. So let's see what happens here. This is yellow. I'm on my first question. I click Joe Biden. It runs to the second question, but this is no longer yellow. Okay? And now I can be happily on my way to my second question. And this is all the code I'll need, except for the one right answer I'll need to broadcast question 3. So I'm going to duplicate this code, zip it over to answer 2. I'm going to zip it over to answer 3, and zip it over. Just get your mouse pointer above that answer, and you'll see it wiggle, and you know to drop it in. And now, whoa, it doesn't do a great job of, kind of just drops it wherever. But there. Now I have question 2 should be working for all of my answers. Now they're all set to incorrect. However, so I have to click Joe Biden to get to question 2. If you look, I have a yellow ring around all of my question 2s now. Okay. And all of them will be incorrect. And I don't need any more code. It just stops my program because I have this broadcast incorrect. Okay. But now what I could do is where's my right answer? My right answer is Ottawa, right? So in question 2, under my third sprite, I could broadcast a new broadcast message to say question 3. And then I just kind of repeat the process. And I want you to try to get maybe 5 questions and add a score and make your game a little more interesting than mine. But then here I could say when I receive question 3, you could say great job again, you know. And you could ask another question, and then you would just need to make some new costumes here for your third question. Okay? So see if you could work with that. I'll be on Google Meets every day from at the top of the hour at 11, 12, 1, and 2. If you need to help for anything, let me know. Let's just run it through one more time, and we'll see how it goes. So I click Joe Biden. It says great job. What's the capital of Canada? If I click these 3, they should be wrong and quit my game. If I click Ottawa, it should say awesome. And it does, because it ran that little block of code. Okay, so that will be your quiz game. Work on that today. Tomorrow we'll kind of work on a final project that you choose, something kind of interesting in Scratch. Usually what we do at the end of the year is we spend a few days creating your own cool Scratch project with everything you've learned about broadcasts and loops and mouse. So we'll kind of do a watered down version of that, I guess, just because it's harder to do it at home on your own on a Chromebook or whatever. But it'll just kind of be a fun little project to end the year, because I think this is our last week of school, so for this course. Talk to you soon. I'll post a video tomorrow as well, so stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. Leave a comment so I know you watched it. Cool. Bye.